One of my guilty pleasures is reading Korean manhwas. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically an illustrated comic that was made in Korea. So they have their own kind of art style and comics that's kind of unique compared to American comics or even like Japanese manga. And there's one trope that really sticks out to me a lot, which is regression. And so what does that mean? It's basically you have this protagonist who is actually kind of a shitty person. He's a bit of an asshole. He makes wrong decisions. He's cowardly when he needs to be brave. He's rude and condescending when he needs to be empathetic. He pushes people away, ends up surrounded by enemies, or sentenced to die or something like that. Usually happens like this. And then he ends up dying. And he's in his final moments, he's looking back over his life and he's like, man, how did this thing end up this way? This sucks. I wish I had a second chance. And then, as if by magic, his mind is teleported back into the body of his younger self before he made all the bad decisions. But he still has the memories of all the bad stuff that he did and the bad ending that he had. And now he's determined not to get into that same trap. So he lives his life differently. And that's what the story is, the manhwa is. So it's a pretty romantic idea. You know, you regress and you have a second chance or a second shot at life. But you see, that's fiction. In reality, you have one shot and only one shot at this life. Now, I'm not saying this so that I scare you, right? This is not a call for people to live perfect lives where you make zero mistakes. I think life is very forgiving, in fact. There's opportunities for you to make plenty of mistakes, to learn, to grow, to course correct. Life will give you second chances, third chances, fourth chances, 100 chances to do something. But I'll tell you what, it's not infinite chances. And some chances will truly only come once. And so we need to have the strength and the fortitude to understand the importance of it and make the right choice. You have to think of yourself that there's two versions in you. There's multiple versions, but we'll simplify it to two versions here. There's a good version, there's a bad version. There's a bad ending in which you make all the wrong decisions. You push people away. You don't take care of yourself. You don't go to the gym. You live a life of fear and cowardice. You don't approach that cute girl that you want to talk to. And life you end, maybe you're alone. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you're miserable. Like, really envision what that ending might look like. What does that version of you look like when you've made all the wrong decisions? Now, conversely, think about it the other way. You make all the right decisions. You do go talk to that cute girl. You go to the gym and you eat healthy. You go after your ideals. You pursue the goals that you set for yourself with the ferocity that is befitting those goals. Where might you end up 10, 20, 30 years from now? See, we all have to sit at the banquet of our consequences at some point in life, whether they're good consequences or bad consequences. And those come from the accumulation of our actions and our decisions, our choices, essentially. The big ones, which, you typically only get one chance at, and the small ones. Do I go to the gym today or not? So take life seriously. I'm not saying hustle, grind yourself into the ground, or pursue perfection. But take your choices seriously and be intentional with your choices. Live your life intentionally and with some ferocity, with some urgency. You know, one thing that strikes me about the protagonists in these manhwas that I read is that after they've lived the bad life and they go back, they attack their new life with such a ferocity that other side characters are almost awed by them. Like, does this person never rest? Like, how is he able to do the things that he's able to do? And it's because he has urgency. He knows that if he doesn't make the right decision now, and he does the right things now, he'll just end up in the same boat that he was before. He has such a fear of the bad ending that he's compelled to the good ending. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.